Welcome back to Starbuck, Minnesota. We are working on moving some milk around, all of our daily chores here today, but the goal of today's episode is figuring out how we're going to cut the grass, if we're going to have to lease equipment, if we're going to be able to buy equipment, and figure out exactly how we're going to be able to produce silage, because we don't have a way to wrap any bales. So eventually we're gonna have to figure that out, but we might have to keep buying silage for a short amount of time. Money is tight. You can see we are sitting at $40,000 to start today's episode. New to the series, this is a realistic playthrough on hard economy. We have no ability to tab. We also have a $17,000 loan. We'll show that in a second, but we're gonna get this milk sold real quick to bring in a little bit of income today to start the episode. $600 coming in there. And taking a look at the loan system mod here, you can see there is a $3 million loan. Our balance is down to $2.9 million with our $17,590 payment every month. The goal of this series is to keep working and playing until we can get out of debt. The hard economy is going to make it very difficult, but we'll keep on cruising. We're going to head back. We have a lot of things we need to sell this morning. We are selling the eggs moving forward every day and the milk just to kind of make it a little bit more realistic. We don't have a trailer yet, so that's something we're gonna have to keep in mind eventually to get purchased. But as of right now, we're just gonna have to bring things over one at a time. Yeah, right now for the cattle, we should have around 30,000 liters of food available to them. 32,000, so we still have a little bit that the robot is taking care of for us. Let's get this disconnected here. Looks like the soybeans are coming in nice. Shouldn't be any weeds there. We do have the sawmill now running on all the productions. Got a couple comments telling me that it does run in parallel. So we should start seeing planks, long planks, and wood beams. And I believe once that gets going pretty good, we'll start seeing those a lot more regularly. Wool is at a good price today, so we'll be getting that sold as well, but let's get the eggs first. And honestly, we probably put the eggs in the back here. We'll see if we can pull that off. That might be handy and helpful. Tight squeeze right here, though. Might be better off pushing these out so that we can get to them a little easier. Come around this way, and then, whoop, zoom in a little bit here. Yeah, that should be a lot easier to deal with right there. We'll just grab one at a time and try to load them up in the back. You're gonna fit, oh, like a glove. Like a glove. Nope, not like a glove. There we go. Got one in there. Second one should be a little easier, I'm hoping. All right, pallets on the forks. Yeah, I don't know about the suspension on this side by side. Maybe this is a bad idea. We could have already been back already, huh? Yeah, let's go ahead and put that down. Go ahead and shut this off and get it out of the way here. We'll just have to cruise real slow, but it should work. We're heading to the bakery today to get the eggs sold. It's our first time selling here. Pretty nice. So there's 1,100. And you only take a certain amount a day? What's going on here? Or does this have to be in the air to sell it? Let's find out. We do have super strength just for these type of things. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We'll figure that out. Maybe we can put it on the edge right here to get it sold next time. That brings our balance up to 42,000. So, you know, looking a little bit better. Now, we might regret this, but we're going to give it a shot. And we've almost lost that top wood, so we're going to have to go slow on this one as well. But it looks like the back wheels are lifting a little bit, but I think we'll be good as long as we just cruise real slow. Probably do need to have the hazards on, the four-ways, but definitely woke up early this morning, 6 a.m. to get started with this because we got a lot of chores to do daily. And, you know, not a lot of time if we sleep in, so gonna use the mornings to sell everything like this that we need to every day. Wool we can hold on to till prices are good. Prices just happen to be pretty good still in May right now. But the eggs and the milk, those are commodities that can go bad, so we're absolutely going to start selling those daily. You know, we're simulating a month per day, so it makes sense to have to do it every single day. So, I think it makes sense. I'm going to guess these go here, yeah. So that was $180 for that little pallet there, and then these two should bring in a decent amount. Flatten it a little bit there. Yeah, so we're up to 45. Hard economy is tough, guys. We'll keep cruising here. Gonna head back home. Gonna check on the animals next. And I think we do need to give the chickens a little bit of feed today just to make sure and be safe there. A little bit of rain in the forecast as well. We got to keep that in mind. And just going to grab a little bit of this wheat here to take over to the chickens. That should be plenty for a while. 4,000. There we go. You can see we are getting a decent amount of this cleared every so often. There are a few stumps that need to get taken care of, but we've been filling up the sawmill, you know, off camera a little bit. So that field eventually will be able to be made. Just gonna slow roll that one. Sheep's food is getting a little low, so we'll have to check on that soon as well. Yeah, before we get to our work, I do want to grab a contract here. We're gonna accept this one, and we're gonna accept that one. And we're gonna fill up our fertilizer. We still have 50,000 liters here, so we're gonna head on over to field 27 and 28 and get them fertilized and really make enough money with those contracts just to pay the bills, and just trying to supplement the income as much as possible right now to make sure we can afford some equipment, even though we're probably going to have to lease it today to get the grass cut. We also need to lease a stump grinder if we're going to be able to cut that entire area that we're planning on cutting. So we'll head over. We'll do 27 first since it's farther away in case we do have to come back and reload. I'll see you over there. And we've arrived at our first field here. Go ahead and get our guidelines set up. And away we go, putting some fertilizer down here. And hopefully this doesn't burn through it too fast, but if it does, we have plenty in capacity. Looks like it is going somewhat slow here, so that's good. Only putting down 172 kilograms per hectare. Absolutely burned through this. All right, let's get this done so we can focus on our farm after we make a little bit of cash here. And with the headland done, we do have about 30% of the field complete and only use 7% of our capacity here. So I think we're going to be good for both of these contracts potentially. Let's see which way they do want us to go that way. So we'll do that. We'll grab the ups and downs now and just cruise up and down this field a few times. It's not too huge, especially with the good working width here on the fertilizer spreader. And we'll get it done. All right, one field down, one to go. We have 77% still in the trailer, in the spreader, so I think we'll be good to pull this off without having to reload. Let's head on over to 28 and get it done. And away we go. This one looks like it was not fertilized yet, so this is the first time, so we might be able to snag another one. I don't know how that works with precision farming enabled, but maybe in June we'll see this field again and be able to get another like 12 grand from it. Another uniquely shaped field on here. I do love it on this map. It'd be exciting to get to the point where we can purchase another field and really expand this farm to maximize that income. Let's get it done. Ruh-roh. Coming to the end of this field. There's a couple little tiny spots that we can do, but at 98%, that better tick over to 99 because it's going to be tight. All right, let's go find it. I think it's on the other side of the trees. This field's making us do the whole thing. You see the little sliver there, but it's a larger sliver on this side. We lock in here. Hopefully this is enough right here. There we go. And we've got it done. All right, let's head home. Contact these farmers and let them know that we are finished with their contracts. I love it when a plan comes together. Balances up to $71,000. Let's take a look at leasing some equipment. Well, we got to do things in a certain order here. We're going to get back to forestry and we'll go ahead and get the stump grinder leased again. and go pick that up, and then after that, so we can get to taking care of the grass. All right, let's get this thing hooked up here, get the PTO in there, get the hoses connected, and get it home. So we'll head out to the grass field first, and then we'll come back and do the ones by the sawmill as well, just to keep everything current. I just don't know how much more log work we're gonna do after clearing the grass field or the area by the sawmill to make a new grass field. So I just don't think purchasing the stump grinder would be worth it. Yeah, and hopefully we're able to find all of them. We should be pretty easy. Yeah, and these things definitely work so much better than when the game launched. Nice to see some improvements on these things. Hopefully. Spoke too soon. There we go. You just gotta manhandle it a little bit. Be able to take a bird's eye view here in a minute to make sure we see all of them. Well, not going as clean as last time, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of this off camera, and I'll see you guys at the end. And just a handful over here to take care of. Get this lowered enough and straighten back out. Easy peasy over here. Can see them a lot better, and they're the stumps that seem to be a little bit more manageable. All right, all the stumps have been removed. It's time to head back in, turn this back into the dealership, and look into what we want to use for mowing today. Only 10 o'clock. Plan came together so nice. Yeah, 3.4 working with. I think this will be more than enough. Only $714 to lease it. We'll go ahead and put it on the front, and you know, it's not a huge grass field, so I think this will be plenty. You know, it might not have been a terrible idea to purchase this, but we'll get by. Get that connected, all hooked up now, and yeah, we'll go ahead and raise it so we can drive back safely. I'm gonna get that first cut ever done of our grass field. And we did talk about it is in a needs plowed state, so the yield's not gonna be great. So after today, we're gonna want to, you know, we're gonna extend the field to the area where the trees were, and then we're gonna replant. And it would be nice if the, well, we're gonna have to plow the whole area, so overseeding wouldn't really be a thing anyways. You know, say the new DLC or the new content pack coming out with overseeding instead of having to completely plow and replant grass. I think it's a pretty cool addition. I'll try to throw that link in the description and update it so you guys can use our Giants partner code to get the new content pack. I think it drops in a week or so. All right, so guided steering or steering assist will help with a little bit of this, but I think we're going to just take advantage of as much of this as we can on our own. There we go, get that. And see if this will let us cut all of here. Get that lowered, and what's happening? There it goes. Okay, now we're cutting grass. That first area was being a little picky there. And since we're leasing this, I am absolutely going to try to take advantage of as much as we can. I believe we do have a square baler as well. And I just kind of debating. We don't have a way to make silage. And we definitely have the need for hay for multiple animals. So that's probably what we're going to end up doing with this grass, is trying to turn it into hay. So it looks like that's about as far as it's going to let us go. All right, stay busy. We'll get this done as it starts raining. Do a little bit more of this, but we're going to have to let this dry out, being a realistic series here. And we can see some green showing up now that we're in the real field. That is nice to go from yellow to green. This is what we've been talking about since we took over this farm, is we're starting to treat it ourselves, so the yields are going to be way better than they were the first time we harvested these fields. Yeah, once again, the plan is coming together. Yeah, it wasn't super long of a rainstorm here, so we're looking pretty good, I think, for most of the rest of the day. Getting close to getting back to this side of the field. This is absolutely going to be a perfect setup once we get this field reestablished. Coming together nice. We're going to find a couple other areas to cut as well. And being that it is a realistic series, we're not going to be able to take care of the hay today. We're going to let that dry out overnight, and it's going to have to wait till June. If we're going to do silage, I would say we could do it today. That makes sense, but going to have it dry out. We are going to still have to do tedding because I've not gotten the mod to work that just changes grass into hay. I could try that again, but I don't have it installed right now. So we will role play it. All right, we're finally done cutting the grass. There's a couple areas we could go back over, but I think it's okay. I think actually I might just do the headland because the turning around, sometimes we missed a couple spots, so just cruise around and get them. Might help us with a little bit more hay when it's all said and done. I mean, I don't know how much this is going to yield. Let's go ahead and drive in. I want to take a look at how much silage we have compared to hay right now, because we might want to lease something that allows us to wrap some grass bales today. Like all of this could get cut too, as long as it allows us property wise. All right, let's take a look over here. We know we have straw, so straw is not a concern. Silage is at 0 and hay's at 6,000. Okay, so we know we need hay for both the sheep and the cattle, so I think I am going to cut the outside of that and potentially remember how to unfold. All right, let's get that lowered, get it activated, and let's go ahead and see. Yep, it's letting us cut it, so I don't know if we'll go any closer to the road, but we'll get a decent amount of this cut, and then we'll get the square baler out and get the grass bales at least created, and then look into the cost of leasing a wrapper today. But we're gonna be a little more wise here. We're gonna go get the baler and attach it now, and probably do want to double check with the dealership to see if there is a size that we need to make sure this is at. Let's do that right now. So definitely think we'd go with something like this, which can do square bale or just round bales. This one can do up to 220 square bales. If we lease that, it's gonna be about $3,000 a day. So let's see what this is set up to. 220, we're good. All right. We'll go ahead and pick up what we started and then just continue by making bales while we're cutting. I think would be the best way to do this and save ourselves some time. That activated, go ahead and start cruising here. And we are successfully picking it up. Gonna get our first grass bale right away there. And we can go ahead and lower that just so it's on when we get to where we haven't cut yet. Absolutely think this is the best way to do it. Now let's get busy. Let's stop picking up the grass. Did we get a little too far over? What's going on here? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So if we sit right here, it'll pick it up. We can get that other amount later. So yeah, we'll go right there. It seems to be working good. All right, now let's focus. So that's the entire area we're going to cut. We're going to get to basically as far as it lets us here, turn around and just start going back and forth on this little loop we've created. And this is going to be a decent amount of bales, so I think this was definitely wise and worth our time while we have this leased. It might hit another hourly lease on the mower, but I don't think that's going to be that much of a concern. So we do see where it ends. Now we can just turn around and go right next to it and get it done. See you guys on the other side. Well, been out here for a while. I did not reset the counter, and I guess we don't even see it on this one. I don't have the mod for that, so we'll figure out how many bales we have. I guess we could look into statistics for that. But I'm not going to go crazy and get all of this area here. This is where we're going to call it, get the mower returned, and go pick up a wrapper. All right, getting the baler put away. All that. We do need to get a pressure washer very soon. All right, let's tell them the mower is back and we need a wrapper. All right, it's been a while since we've used this on the channel. It'd be fun to use it again. No PTO, just the hoses on this one. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we need more than a month on hard economy for this to turn into silage, I believe. So we'll just start cruising around, getting these wrapped. It's been a very productive May. We still have $66,000, so we did good with the contracts to help fund everything we needed to lease today, as well as a little bit extra to go towards our payment for May. Get automatic unloading going, and just cruise around. Get these wrapped. Super curious now, if we go into grass, it is 175,000 liters that we did bale there. That's quite impressive. I think that's gonna help out big time. I'm really glad we did this. About halfway done. We're almost, we just got to turn the bend there and then back towards the cattle pasture. Gonna be so many bales to move and one to go. It's been an eventful day. We're gonna, see how this turns out. Like I said, I think it's gonna be 3 months before this is silage, right? If I'm remembering correctly. We'll help ourselves out and put one bale close by, though. Might as well just let this drop where it does. I don't know how realistic that is, but we'll just put it right here. And I am going to head in now and get this returned, but I will see you on the next episode. I'm SocksWayUp. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a great one.